Just last week, thousands shared their Spotify Wrapped with their friends on various social media platforms. Spotify, a popular music streaming service that allows its consumers to listen to their favorite artists and podcasts, is under fire from other artists. Musicians are condemning the streaming platform after receiving little to no royalties for their music. Hannah Boyle went live to Atlantis in order to see firsthand how streaming has affected concerts today. I went backstage to the Atlantis. Fans are lining up to see tonight's show with the Bobby Lees. As the concert season comes to an end for the holiday season, it also brings an end to a promising career. New York band the Bobby Lees have announced their retirement from music at the end of their latest tour. The reason why? They can no longer afford to tour. While a rolling camera was prohibited backstage in the dressing rooms, I do have the audio from this interview.
0.004 cents a play.
Oh.
So for
There
our
was
record,
another zero, isn't there?
no. So for our record, Bellevue, we spent, like we said, about 18 months touring it. So for that amount of time promoting it, we made $4,000 off Spotify. But we don't actually make that. We split it with our label. So it's about $2,000. So it's for 4 people. So the entire year of touring Bellevue, each person would make $500 off Spotify, which is like criminal. So
Yeah, it's $500 a year.
That was Sam Corton, the lead singer of the Bobby Lees, expressing their disappointment in the music industry today during an interview before their final DC concert. The band announced only weeks ago they would no longer be playing together. Not only are small bands feeling the pressure from lack of funds, fans are also struggling to afford the music industry today. In the aftermath of streaming services, concert ticket prices have gone up exponentially. What was once a $20 ticket could now cost you hundreds. We asked Jillian Condren, tour publicist from Nasty Little Man PR, her thoughts on why touring and concerts have become so expensive. I know that with Spotify, artists make very little money off of what's being played. They're not really making money off their music anymore. So do you say that artists make most of the money from these tours?
Absolutely, yes. Touring is really the lifeblood of the music industry. If you want to, break even or make a profit, you're going to have to go on tour, and that's the truth for many artists. I don't know if you saw the Weird Al response to fans, their Spotify Wrapped, but he put it perfectly. Some artists make 0.003% of Spotify streams. You're really, and the physicals, aren't what they used to be. So I think, the past decade or so, artists are, taking a higher percentage of ticket sales, and that's where you see the ticket prices go up. But yeah, it's very contingent on being able to tour. That's where you're going to make your money these days.
So it must be really hard for these younger, newer artists to really get into the industry then. Do you have any, advice for bands that can't afford to tour? Do merch sell? Would you be able to say that merch does well for the bands? Do they make a lot of money off of that?
Yeah, it's such a tricky, it's a paradox because, you have to tour to make money, but you have to be able to afford to tour. So
Jillian Condren oversees rock bands including Foo Fighters, Metallica, and Radiohead. A concert ticket for one of her clients, even for general admission to those bands, is no easy sum. Still, bands like the Bobby Lees are hopeful things will change in the future.
have the opportunity to make another record. That part's a mystery. But since we posted the letter, the actor Jason Momoa reached out to us and has become a big fan and wants to help raise awareness about what we were saying, that there has to be like some sort of minimum wage or a higher payout rate from Spotify so people can sustain again. So who knows what's going to happen, but he's trying to help, and he's introduced us to some labels, and we're playing out the rest of the shows this year and seeing what unfolds. So
In lieu of bands no longer making money off their music, the touring industry is on the rise for those who can afford it. As more bands and celebrities speak out against streaming platforms and their policies, there is hope yet the average band may be able to once again sell music and tour. From Washington, D.C., I'm Hannah Boyle, WRGW.